This video brought to you by Coffee. Thank you, Coffee member Kristen, for your support. We are diving into a speed build. We are doing a library here in Newcrest, part of my building up Newcrest shenanigans, if you didn't know. Don't get used to this part because I delete it. I think it over after a few days, and I bulldoze the lot and start over. I left it in here mostly to show that bulldozing your lot to start over is totally fine. So I have a Discord. I'm part of a cult. Join our cult if you want to. It's super casual and chill. But I asked my Twitch subs and Coffee members, they get a private channel. So if you're considering subscribing on Twitch or becoming a Coffee member, you will get access to a private channel on the Discord, and I will link all of that down below. But I asked my private channel members what they wanted to see me build next, and they said a library. I presented them with a variety of options. So we're building a library. And that was me alt-tabbing. At first, I thought I wanted to do this like the library I used to visit when I was a kid. So that's kind of what we started like. It had like a big basement, and that's where all the kids' stuff was, like the not little kids, but like that was where, kids' stuff was. There was like an after-school program that I was part of that you would just go and do like literary performances. It was like the Magic Tree House was super popular when I was a kid, so we would act out parts of the Magic Tree House, and you would go and everybody would read like the same kind of books. It was like a little book club for kids, and also to perform like a little mini drama book club kind of thing. But anyways, we don't keep this part, so really I'm just talking to fill out the time. And instead, I changed. I do like the way I did that roof, though. I kind of like that. It's like a little interesting thing, but we didn't. Much like the library that I grew up in, we don't keep this original build. The library, the old building is still there because it's a historic building. I want to say it was it wasn't the old schoolhouse. I want to say it was an old house that got turned into a library. So based off of that is how I did the actual build that we do keep. This one, no. They did remodel my childhood library. They built, actually, the city donated the library, a big chunk, an empty lot, basically, and they rebuilt the whole thing. Brand new building. It's much nicer now. I haven't actually been inside it, but I've been on the outside of it. I've walked by it a couple of times. I tried to do like that's what I was trying to do, was like a 2-step thingy in here. And it really wasn't, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing, but because it did not work and I didn't like it. So when because I couldn't put walls on the inside. That's why I didn't like it. Every time I tried to put a wall on the inside, it would size up, which makes sense that it would size up to the normal wall height. Because I wanted to do like you would step down, and then that would be like your little pit of a library kind of thing. But it didn't work, and that was all a big part of why I also restarted. And it didn't feel normal, so anyways, we bulldozed it. Like, not normal. Felt like I built it to be a library, when in my head, this is a renovated 3-bedroom home that was turned into a library. So I built a house first, which is what we're doing here. Because in my Newcrest plans, this is a strip of houses, and there's a couple of commercial lots, or community lots, like the cafe is down the road, and then the library, and then the other lots I'm going to use for houses. So I figured this would be a strip of houses. So if you have a community lot here, it would be renovated from a house. Right? Are we following my line of thinking? It is a 2-story library. I put the kids section upstairs, and then computers and some books downstairs. It's not a very large library. It's like it's a historic home that was turned into a library, and they just kind of, stuff got donated, so it's a little bit mismatchy. And for some reason, I thought a wraparound porch would be cool, and then I realized I have to roof it, and I'm not very good at roofing, so I did keep it, and I did try my best, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it turned out okay. Because roofing, it's not really my thing. Which is why the first couple of community lots we built just had flat roofs. Because those are much easier to do. You just throw some gravel up there and some roof decorations and you're done. In order to get the corner, before, I would have to Google it and watch a million videos. But you just do a hip roof and then you drag out the eaves and you just match the angle. Like, I kept trying to pull in the gables and then I realized you just pull out the eaves. Or on those weird side roofs, I kept pulling out the eaves. It didn't work, obviously. It looked weird. And here, I just did a bunch of these little half, whatever they're called, half gable, half hip, half something. Half hip, half gable? These words are meaningless to me now. I did a bunch of these. There's a million roof pieces on here, and I just kept changing the length and dragging them out and making them smaller and smaller, and we're just gonna kind of cut around for parts of it. This is 99% of a base game build. I completely forgot, and when we get there I'll explain it. There's something from Get Famous on here, I forgot. I was checking out the freezes before I decided to just do 100% base game, which isn't at all. But here's where we cut around. I'm putting rooms up there so that way I can do a room trim around the edge of it. And I think it looks a little bit nicer. And then just kind of dragging that porch out. I don't know what happened. Those walls disappeared probably when I put a room up there. But they're back. We also... once I fence off the whole porch, I'm going to raise it up later. And then I put railings and shit. We're just kind of picking. I decided to go for a brown door, so I just changed all of those to brown. And then we did this fence, and it's also the same railing and fence I use inside. Right there I fight with this a couple of times. I cut out most of it. I couldn't get the roof to stop coming in until I changed the eave. I got rid of it. I dragged it in on that side. That was all the problem was. Nothing hard. And I'm still treating this like it's a house, so we're gonna put doors into all of the rooms, but we're about to not do that. So upstairs were 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and I was gonna delete it, but then I realized it would just be much easy. Like, if that's a structural wall, it would be much easier just to board up the door. Like, maybe remove the door and then put something there, which is where those pieces from Get Famous are from, and why they're there is because that's just the door that was removed and then boarded. They just boarded it. It's all wood? Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. It's all wood inside. I did the porch, and then I did that little Control F to get the diagonal pieces, and then I rotated them to make it look seamless. Instead of all going one way, it connects. I didn't like the color I chose originally, so I had to go back and do all of it again in white, which took a long time, which is why I cut it out. The windows, I went with the base game windows with the shutters because I thought on a house that would look very nice. And I don't have room to fit them upstairs, and the small windows don't actually match because the cross sections inside the windows are brown and not white, which is fine. It's fine that it doesn't match. I love that. Things don't always match. I adjusted the roof height just so I could fit these little windows up here, and now looking back, I could have just made the walls a little bit taller upstairs as well as downstairs, and I wouldn't have had to do all of that adjusting, and I could fit the taller windows. But it's fine. It's fine. We did raise it up to a couple height foundation, and then we just copy paste the stairs on both sides. I made it a brick foundation. And then I was thinking maybe this section, this bedroom and bathroom, were an add-on, so maybe that would be in brick, but I didn't really like the way it looked. Because I was just doing base game. I couldn't put that nice get-together column at the end I did a couple different wall colors. They're all the same, but a couple of the rooms are like blue or yellow or whatever. The bathroom, I made room for a shower because if this was like an original house, they would have had a tub or a shower, but obviously the library doesn't need that, so they removed it when they renovated and just kind of stuck some cabinets and plants in the space just to make it look a little bit nicer. What are we doing next? I kept a kitchen in here. Actually, it's a full kitchen with like a coffee maker and microwave. But we get to that later. I'm just kind of jumping ahead all over the place. I do move the lot backwards, which I might actually be doing now. No, we're not doing that now. I moved the lot backwards at some point. And I have a large patio with outdoor seating and some fencing. Not a whole lot, because if it was a real house, you would probably have a backyard. And then just some decoration, or some plants. I didn't use any debug plants, actually. I just used all of the regular plants. I matched the trees. I want to say it's a beech tree, and I have that pink tree, because I think that looks cute. So I put one of those up front and a couple of beech trees, a couple of those pink trees, and one beech tree. I think it's beech. I don't know what trees are. Could not tell you. To save my life, could not tell you to name a tree. I mean, I can name a tree, but like, I can't tell you which tree is which, especially in The Sims. We did some terrain paint underneath those bush planters, and then I just kind of cut all that out because it's not really that important. I decorated this little office. This is like where the head librarian would be. Just a desk, computer, painting. It's kind of boring. Rug. I wanted like the nameplate from the criminal track. I go in and find it, but I couldn't put it. You know, that shelf has, or that desk has a top shelf, and then you see there, I couldn't put it on the top, so I got rid of it because it doesn't make sense for it to be facing your sim, who's definitely the head librarian, but not really. Just kind of going through paintings to see what I liked and didn't like. I did like that one. I thought it would be neat to have that out in the public space. I always go down to the basement on accident. I do that a lot. In here, I figured this would be like a nice little computer lab, so I started with this cheap desk, thinking it was the same as the dining table, but they're two different items. My brain just thinks they're the same item, but if it's the dining table, then I can fit two computers on there instead of one. Unfortunately, this doesn't count as a desk, even though I'm using it as a desk, so I do have to put more desks to achieve the desk quota, I guess. I use these bookshelves because they have the least stuff. Like, all of the bookshelves in The Sims have a lot of stuff on them. But those ones, like, they have, like, decorations, which are cool, but not really for a library. You wouldn't really have a whole lot of decorations on them. I did a couple of console tables out here just with some stuff, some plants, a duck. On one side, I did a bunch of business card holders, because where I grew up and still go to today, there's a lot of even restaurants have like, and grocery stores and the library would have like bulletin boards where you could put your little posters, and a lot of them do business cards. You can pin your business cards on there. So if you need like a roofer, you can go to the library and check for roof. Before we had Facebook to ask for recommendations, we would have to go to various businesses to see if they had any business cards. We do plants and some outdoor seating. I figure maybe like you start a garden club and they're maintaining the plants because, again, the library I went to as a kid, the local garden club would maintain, not the lawn, the city mowed the lawn, but they would maintain the flowers out front. So I did that. And outdoor seating, because this is only a few blocks away from, not even, I think it's technically the same sim block. It's a few blocks away from the cafe, so you could go get a coffee and then walk to the library and sit outside with your little coffee and enjoy it. Up here is where I embrace the idea of having different bookshelves of varying, kind of the same color, but varying heights. I did put a toddler potty up here. I did not put a pack and play. which is what I keep calling those little cribs, because in the real life you just pack them up and take them. This doesn't have really anything for infants. It does have a few things for toddlers and kids, but nothing for there's no changing table. I couldn't really fit it. And then I changed all of the bookshelves up here to all of those. The same matching colors. So it's nice. They got a whole matching set of kids' furniture. A few toys, not a whole lot. I don't know if libraries, I guess they kind of do have kids' toys and stuff. It's not a very well-kept library. It's well-loved, but not well-kept. Like, there's books all over the place, mostly because I really like that book decoration. I did another accent table here just to put, you guessed it, more books on. I think they look neat. Like, I didn't put the book cart, because I don't think the book cart is base game, which is moot because I have the Get Famous thing upstairs, that wall decoration. I filled out the kitchen, so I get the I don't know. Maybe you want to get married at the library, so now you totally can. For the living chairs, I had to put some kids' ones, because that fit better than the other ones. I remembered to decorate that spot. I forgot. I was intentionally ignoring it because I was mad that the roof kept clipping, and then I left it, and then I remembered, I should probably do something in there. I put a a little couch in here. I had to get rid of the books. I wasn't sure if Sims could walk through that way, and I didn't want to risk it. And we did some landscaping. I cut most of the landscaping out because I'll show you what it looks like, and then terrain painting all around the edge, which I should have cut out, but I didn't. Mostly because I was busy watching to see if I remembered to do that. And I did remember to do that, so we're good. And then a couple of hedges out front, and we are pretty much at the end of the speed build, so we're going to jump into the game, and we'll tour this build with Weird Al. It's already on the gallery, by the way. My gallery ID is _Grimmia, and I will put that down below. I would link to it, but I don't know how. For the life of me, I cannot figure that out. To the library. Making a weird noise while I do it. Okie dokie. Here we are. I have the game audio muted, so you're just gonna have to listen to me. And it's gonna be really uncomfortable. I built this on Sandy Creek. I don't remember if I said that, but we already have a library. Nope, that's Benice Robles. Okay, we don't have a librarian here. But here is the whole thing, and I definitely need to get some screenshots, so don't mind me. Just gonna do that. And then the landscaping, I just kept super simple with just like the tree and then a couple of plants out here. And a rock. And then these planters, which I hate how close I put them next to each other. I didn't even need to take you here. Like, the only thing I didn't have in the speed build was the super minimal landscaping, which if you download this off the gallery, you could see. But I guess if you're just watching the speed build to watch something, now I've shown it to you. I will show you the gallery. Oh my god. Let's hope it connects. Okay. One or more of the Sims Online services are currently offline. Try again later. Cool. Is there a patch? Oh, it's Tuesday. They're probably patching. Anyways, here's my gallery ID. I will again put it down. You can find it. I think I did the hashtag Grimmia on there as well, so you could look for that. But if you follow me on the gallery, I couldn't tell you how to find your followers list. But that's this cute little library. That guy looks like a librarian if I've ever seen one. And not just because he has the same glasses as my aunt, who is a librarian. I'm just fucking around now. Oh my god, I can change my height? Why did no one tell me? I can't rotate my angle. Let's try it from here. Go, nope, down. If you were wondering how to change your height, it's Q and E when you're in tap mode. Lovely. These walls are really bare. I'm not good at decorating walls. What do you want from me? better decorated builds. Well, yeah, that's fair. That's it. I've lost my mind. I'm bad at outros. There's things if you would like to click on them. Where are they? I don't know.